From the Supreme Court of the Philippines, here's the latest. More than 150 successful examinees of the 2025 Shari'ah Special Bar Examinations are set to take their oath on Wednesday, August 6 at the Manila Hotel. 2025 Shari'ah Special Bar Examinations, or SSBE Chairperson Associate Justice Antonio Co. Jr. earlier announced that 154 out of 629 examinees, or 24.48%, passed the first fully digitalized special examinations for the Shari'ah courts held on May 25 and 28, 2025. The Office of the SSBE Chairperson also released the names of the 10 successful examinees who obtained the highest grades. The successful examinees were reminded to complete the clearance procedure via barista from July 28, 8 o'clock a.m. to July 30, 5 o'clock p.m. On Friday, the Office of the 2025 Bar Examinations Chairperson, under the leadership of Associate Justice Ami Lazaro Javier, issued an advisory on required and permitted items at the local testing centers, or LTCs, for the guidance of the bar examinees. Single-use plastics will not be allowed in all LTCs for this year's bar examinations. The full list of permitted and prohibited items may be found on the notice dated August 1, 2025. The Supreme Court has ruled that the Philippine government's share in the profits from the Malampaya natural gas project includes the income taxes of its private contractors. In a decision written by Associate Justice Jhosep Lopez, the SC En Banc lifted the charges against Shell Exploration BV, PNOC Exploration Corporation, and Chevron Malampaya LLC for unpaid income taxes. The SC reversed the ruling of the Commission on Audit, citing Presidential Decree No. 87, or the Oil Exploration and Development Act, which states that income taxes paid by or on behalf of contractors are included in the government's guaranteed 60% share of net proceeds from petroleum operations. The SC clarified the tax assumption is not tax exemption. The contractors are still liable for income tax, but the government pays it on their behalf as part of its share in the project's income. The SC added that it respects the arbitral ruling of the International Chamber of Commerce in line with the state's policy favoring arbitration. In another case, the Supreme Court has affirmed the authority of the National Labor Relations Commission, or NLRC, to execute the terms of a collective bargaining agreement, or CBA, in cases involving unfair labor practices. The SC's Third Division, through Associate Justice Jhosep Lopez, upheld the NLRC's order directing Guagua National Colleges, or GNC, to pay its employees the agreed economic benefits, but adjusted how those benefits were computed. The SC clarified that while voluntary arbitrators generally handle CBA implementation, the Labor Code authorizes the NLRC to enforce CBA provisions when gross violations amounting to unfair labor practices are involved. The SC said that in this case, it was the NLRC which was best positioned to enforce the CBA, having reviewed it. However, the SC ruled that the computation of benefits should exclude the signing bonus and cover only the 5-year CBA term. In another case, the SC has clarified that being listed in a corporation's General Information Sheet, or GIS, is not enough to prove that someone is a stockholder. In a resolution written by Associate Justice Ramon Paul Hernando, the SC's First Division granted a motion for reconsideration of its earlier decision and ruled that Maria Cristina Patricia Lopez and John Rastilito Lopez are not stockholders of LC Lopez and Conqueror, despite being listed in the two companies' GIS submitted to the Securities and Exchange Commission. In granting the motion, the SC clarified that the stock and transfer book is the primary and official record of a corporation's stockholders. A person must also present a stock certification issued in their name to prove ownership of shares. In another decision, the SC has upheld a company's decision to suspend an employee who blocked access to the software he created while working there. In a ponencia by Associate Justice Samuel Garlan, the SC's Third Division held that JGC Philippines Inc., or JGC, validly placed Santiago Ciliano, a senior engineer, under preventive suspension while investigating his actions. Under the Labor Code, an employer can preventively suspend an employee without pay for up to 30 days if the employee's presence poses a threat to the company or its property. In this case, JGC had good reason to suspend Ciliano. At the time, the company believed it owned the software, as the Intellectual Property Office had not yet ruled on this matter. Ciliano's act of blocking access posed a threat to the company's property. The suspension also complied with the 30-day rule. Finally, SC Associate Justice Jhosep Lopez urged the graduates of the Lyceum of the Philippines, or LPU College of Law, to be ready to sacrifice comfort, reputation, and favor in their pursuit of justice. During the graduation ceremonies held on July 26, 2025, at the LPU Manila campus, Justice Lopez spoke about fortitude by sharing his journey of perseverance even after he faced many rejections. He also stressed how listening and questioning one's belief is important in the pursuit of truth. Finally, he called on the graduates to dedicate themselves to service and to use the law for the good of others and the nation. You're now up to date with the Philippine Supreme Court. I am Tiffany Double Supreme Court Information Officer.